Welcome to the Energy Central PowerTalk titled Greater Impacts Through Non-Traditional Partnership, an Ameren Illinois Energy Efficiency Program. I'm Audra Drazga, the Vice President of the Energy Central Power Industry Network. Energy Central is a community platform with the goal to help professionals in the industry to share, learn, and connect in a collaborative environment. Our Power Talks are short 20 to 30-minute pre-recorded video or audio sessions bringing together industry experts to share their expertise around a topic that we feel is of interest to the industry and our community members. We invite Energy Central members to interact with the Power Talk discussion by using the comment section to ask questions, share your feedback, or add your own insights. If you have questions, the Energy Central Community Management team will do our best to gain answers from the presenters and/or other community members. And now, I'm pleased to share with you today's Power Talk.
Ooh. I'm Angie Ostazsweski.
I'm Alexander Martin.
And we're here today to talk to you about the collaboration between Ameren Illinois Energy Efficiency and the Peoria Guild of Black Artists. So why don't you start by telling us a little about yourself?
All right, so I am an artist and performer living here in Peoria, Illinois. I am one of the founding members of the Peoria Guild of Black Artists, which we were founded in 2020 as a space for Black creatives to gather, uplift each other's voices, advocate, and collaborate. I'm also a performer in town. I do a lot of public advocacy and outreach, and I work with Central Illinois Friends, which is a nonprofit that helps folks living with HIV and does free STI HIV testing. And that is how this collaboration sort of began with Angie.
Yes. And I'm Angie, so I work for Ameren Illinois in our energy efficiency group, and I get to manage the market development initiative. And that is something sort of brand new in the utility space, but it's basically a portion of our funding, which allows us to accomplish 3 goals: engage customers who haven't previously benefited from energy efficiency, launch or expand businesses in the energy efficiency industry, and then bring in job seekers into the energy efficiency field. And yes, we will be saying the words energy efficiency a lot during this video. I've got the first one. So take me back to where this all started. How did this partnership begin?
So I have known Angie almost since I've moved to Peoria. She's the reason for a lot of people moving here. But I, like I said earlier, was working with Central Illinois Friends, and Angie approached me with a collaboration of making the resources that Ameren's Energy Efficiency Program has available to the vulnerable populations that we serve at work. During that time frame, we founded PGOBA, started doing art and community, and then Angie approached me and some other founding members of the Guild with a new collaboration involving energy efficiency and bringing art to the community, which leads me to my question for you. What gave you the idea for the partnership or the idea to reach out to artists?
So in my job with Market Development Initiative, pretty much the foundation of all of the work we do is partnerships with community-based organizations. So we already in our network have about 40 different community action agencies and nonprofits, but we had never done a partnership with a collective of artists, and I felt like it was, what's the word, kismet? That the Peoria Guild of Black Artists formed. We were looking for new opportunities and new kinds of partnerships, so we've already done a lot of work on outreach and like community events, and so working with the Peoria Guild of Black Artists was a new way to sort of diversify how we're implementing our program. And so coming to you guys for all of the marketing materials, bringing in the artwork that the Guild members create to diversify our marketing materials and have it be images from the community, and the work that you do kind of brings it to life in an accessible way. And seeing that also the support for artists in the community, I think, is a really big part of investing locally, and not just with marketing firms, but other kind of non-traditional vendors like you guys. Okay, so as artists, what made the Peoria Guild of Black Artists interested and intrigued in a collaboration with Ameren Illinois about energy efficiency? Because I think I'm going to safely assume that artists aren't scrambling for utility contracts traditionally.
I think first, the way you presented it, like, again, having experience in public health, the amount of pandering that like organizations and places will do, they'll just be like, they'll go to Sticker Shock and find a picture of a Black person like in their front yard and be like, we serve our clients everywhere or whatever. And it's like we know, like our communities know we're being pandered to, and it doesn't feel great. And it's like seeing work not made by folks who are from where you're from, who have the experiences you do, is disheartening. And so when you approached with this collaboration, it was really excited to sort of get our voices involved, and then also like the gentleness in which you handled the collaboration with Central Illinois Friends. Very vulnerable population, lots of LGBTQ plus individuals, folks living with HIV. Ameren did fantastic, and that I could bring that to the other members of PGUB and be like, this is going to be handled with grace, fun, elegance. It's going to be wonderful. Instead of doing some big marketing strategy and like, well, we're going to do this, do that, you worked with people from the community. And I think that's what really got the Guild excited. And like the chance to work as a new organization, we hadn't done a corporate contract before. And a lot of members hadn't done a corporate contract. We have a few designers who have, but it was new to a lot of us. And so the chance to learn something new with an organization that was sensitive to our community and get to be paid to make a lot of artwork was very, very thrilling. Which, getting into the details, let's talk about the different aspects of this collaboration.
Yes. So this is definitely a multifaceted partnership, which again, I think that's one of the amazing things about working with the Guild is every idea, it wasn't like, well, why? It was like, why not? Which is, I think, a great mindset, especially in a corporate environment. We have so many restrictions, and it's been very freeing working with you guys because every idea we're like, okay, let's figure out if we can do it. So one of the key pieces we're just starting now are 3 murals in the community. So the members of the Guild each designed a sustainability theme mural with kind of a different focal point. So one focused on children, one focused on like community workforce, and then one focused on residents. And so we put this call out together to see what businesses might be interested in a sustainability theme mural for the exterior of their business, and then also energy efficiency upgrades on the inside of their business to kind of really try to put together everything holistically. And so we're at the final stage of selecting those locations. We're going to start painting. And I feel like for a similar budget, we could have done a billboard in the community, but doing a permanent piece of artwork that also helps to drive that message of here are the things you can do to empower yourself, lower your bills, but also help the planet. I mean, I've just never seen it communicated in this way. And I think that's part of what is going to make this so successful, is that it's just very different. And this is a community that is very invested in the arts. And so I think we're really following the lead of the community that we are working in, of these are the things that make it feel meaningful for them. So in addition to all of the marketing pieces, I'm very, very excited for this kind of permanent placemaking aspect, which we've never done before.
Yeah, and I think it's really highlighting the stuff that and the resources that Ameren Illinois has available. Like, it's so easy to view a utility company as like utility. Like, I need this to live here, and this is the thing I get in the mail. But then knowing these other aspects of it, and knowing like it's almost like, I know you're a corporation, but it's almost like working with a nonprofit. Like it feels like we're working with a nonprofit that's interested in community investment, accessibility to resources, and highlighting underrepresented voices. So
yes.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things in one of the murals is we have empower as one of our key terms that we use in our marketing materials. And the members of the Guild expanded that. And one of the murals says, empower yourself, empower your community. You know, financial empowerment, your energy management is a part of that. And it's like just so easy how you put it together, but I would have never thought of it. I mean, I can't do anything that you can do. Okay, so when we're doing a mural project, there's also all of these sort of startup pieces, from contracts to invoices to planning. And was this part the same as other projects you've worked on, or was any of it different for others who might be interested in launching something like this?
It was absolutely different. again, a lot of us haven't done corporate contracts before, but the sort of reins that were passed of like, we respect everything you do. Yes, we have to approve things because like we're funding this, but like we want to hear what you have to say. We want to do what you have to do. So there's so much freedom, but then not just freedom in like what we're making and how we're doing it, but also like access to resources. Like we've been offered workshops from collaborators with Ameren on like business representation. We've gotten trainings on how to upload stuff, to bill it, to get it sent to the place to get it marketed. You can tell by the terminology I'm using that this is all new to me. A lot of times, especially with corporate collaborations, things can feel, especially within more vulnerable populations, it can feel predatory. And this has been the opposite of that. This has been very like, not to use the term from the Bureau, but empowering of like, oh my gosh, I can do this. Like I've mentioned this collaboration with other arts organizations and other people in the community of like, this is how you do a collaboration with artists. This is how you pay artists their worth. And like, not to get emotional, but like the first time we billed for the marketing materials and seeing their reaction of like, oh my gosh, this thing, like I'm getting paid to do this thing I love doing. And like, it was a lot, but it was amazing. And we've had help the whole time.
Yes, if you're doing a program like this, you need to compensate during ideation and not just when you get the final product. Compensate at all phases.
And the skill sets that the artists have gotten from this collaboration have stuck. Interact with corporate clients, but then also other artists, other folks, like they're learning how to navigate things and knowing their worth as creatives. Yes, securing that energy efficient bag. So I want to ask you, from your perspective, since you are on the corporate side, what does this collaboration mean for you and what possibilities does it open up?
Yeah, I mean, well, one, this is just such an amazing group. Like, it's just a privilege to work with them and learn from all of the members. But I also feel like when we're looking at diversity, equity, and inclusion as core values at Ameren, it's about also creating that diversity in the groups that implement our programs. So all of us, myself included, I've been in corporate communications and in program management for years. And so it's very easy to start from the perspective of here's what's required. And starting with a group that begins from like lived experience and is like, let me actually start from just what makes sense to me. It like brings us back to reality because it's very easy to get caught up in, oh, does this meet the logo guidelines? Which is important, but equally important is the message coming across? Is the language we're using easy to understand? Are the images we're using connecting? Because even through working with the Guild, we're now going to have concept imagery for not just single family homes, but apartments and mobile homes and families that look different, and working with a group that has, you know, photographers, painters, graphic designers, other kind of mixed media artists. Like, it's really a one-stop shop for us, and it's such a mutually beneficial partnership. The benefit's so clear to Ameren, but it's also important for us to provide a benefit to you, and not just through compensation, but through really making it meaningful work where your voices are elevated. And that's what makes me want to get up, is like being the hype woman for all of the community-based organizations we work with. That's like, I feel like the easiest way to describe my job. It's just so amazing being able to do that with you and for you. And every time I tell someone about this, it's one of those things where they're like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Like, why didn't I think of that? I'm like, I don't know. There's probably other guilds out there. Everyone should do this.
Well, it's from our perspective, it's so wild to be like, because like as creatives, it's like we have all the ideas, but to be like, I wonder if we could do this, this, and this, and then on the call I have like a bunch of people from Ameren be like, oh yeah, like bridging that gap of like, oh, we've have the resource to do this, we just haven't thought to do it. And like we've had ideas to do things but not the resources, and so that sort of melding, I don't know, it's uplifting and it's fun. And yeah. I've gotten really passionate about energy efficiency the past couple of years now.
I know, and I feel like you want to take it back to all the jargon we've learned. Like, if you want to innovate your supply chain, I mean, working with a collective of artists and then being able to put out, for example, our marketing for our business symposium, which is an event where we educate business customers on how to save money on their bill. Sending that out to hundreds of thousands of customers and having the artwork on the front say designed by the Peoria Guild of Black Artists, and then to have those 800 businesses at that event and all of the materials have your name on it. I mean, that to me is how you innovate a supply chain and recognize and uplift all of your vendors, because we're getting you this contract, but also hoping to set you up for future growth and success. I mean, that really is the goal.
And community members watch, like even people who are non-artists in the community see this collaboration happen. We've had a lot of press about it, other things. They see this collaboration happening, and so they know that something's not being pulled over their eyes. Like they have a bunch of people from their community saying, oh, we're doing this thing, and they're seeing it. And that begins to build trust, which means more folks are going to try to access these programs, because they're hearing about it, but then also they're like, okay, I trust that this is real. I'm not getting a fast one pulled on me. There's been this collaboration going on for like a couple of years now. I think I'm going to sign up for that program. Like it's smart. Really, really. It seems like talking about it seems like so simple, but it has like a huge impact, a gigantic impact.
It's just different.
Yeah.
It's just doing it different. And like the guild members are so capable. I think that a lot of people assume supplier diversity initiatives are to build up capacity in suppliers, but one of the members has a line with Target. Okay, yeah. They don't need us. They don't need us. It's a huge honor for us to be able to work with you. So
we have fun. It's a meeting I look forward to every time we meet up. It's a good time.
Okay, I think we're at the end of our questions, but I would love to ask you one more of what advice would you give to a utility or an arts organization looking to start a collaboration like this? Where should they begin?
I think for an arts organization, know your worth. Like, know how much you are worth. Look at everything around you that is made and designed by artists. That takes time, that takes funds. And so make sure that you are getting compensated and that you're looking out for your members and for yourselves, and don't undersell yourselves. And then from a corporation, invest in the community, build those bridges, be fully transparent and open, talk about what you want to do, and then leave room for the creatives you want to work with to not only express themselves, but to give you ideas. And so breaking down those barriers and building that trust is not only going to get you working with artists who are making awesome work, but it's also going to get a community that's invested in you and get you people that are excited to work with you.
I'm not going to add anything else for me.
No, we did it.
Yeah.
Just post.
Thank you for coming to our video. We could dispel some energy efficiency myths.
Yes. So I have heard leaving your lights on saves more energy than turning them on and off, because it just utilizes more to flip the switch.
Myth. Now, we have customers who have heard, in their upbringing that if you just leave the lights on all the time, it uses less energy because they think that turning them off has some kind of like pull, but it doesn't. If you turn your lights off, it's always going to save you more money than if they're on. Same thing with your thermostat. Oh. Mythbuster.
Do you think all artists is it true that artists are starving?
Sorry. Myth or fact? Are all artists starving?
For attention.
I hate you. Set up. Okay.